We all talk about how bad of a ruler and how big of a tyrant Frieza was, but honestly, we should really talk about King Vegeta. King Vegeta sent off a tiny little innocent child off to an unknown planet for him to die because that baby had a power level of 10,000. Don't get me wrong, this is no way at all is me saying that Frieza is a good person, because he's not, he's far from it. But let's not ignore the fact that King Vegeta sent off a little baby to straight up die, all because of a power shift and a little bit of a power gap. Now, I would like to know, personally, what would have happened if Frieza intercepted that ship? Maybe actually spotted not only Broly's ship, but Paragus' ship going to Vampa. And when seeing this, Frieza decided himself to take it upon himself to actually investigate this. He would take a ship and a couple other soldiers, kind of like foot soldiers, straight to Vampa. And when they would arrive, they would see the Saiyan by the name of Paragus and see the young boy by the name of Broly. And Frieza would begin to think in his head, yes, I could kill these two now and nobody would even know. But King Vegeta must have sent them off for a reason. King Vegeta must want them dead for one precise reason. Frieza would activate his scouter and see that Broly has a power level of 10,000. Now, immediately, thoughts of the Super Saiyan would glance through his brain and also his head. He would think to himself that this right here could be the legendary Super Saiyan, so maybe it would be best if he just killed him. But then Frieza began to think to himself, this power, if it was tamed, controlled, and if he treated them properly, maybe he could use them for his own benefit. So he goes over to Paragus and Broly and tells them that this is no planet for safety, that he's going to bring them to a planet that is safe and a planet that has luscious grass, good food, and shelter all throughout the eye can see. He'll make sure that they're safe and good, and he'll deal with King Vegeta, speaking with him to hopefully get them on good terms. Paragus isn't sure if he can trust Frieza, especially with a tyrant like himself. I mean, how could you trust Frieza? But Frieza would tell him not to worry, that he will get it handled. He would then take Paragus and Broly to a planet, and once they see how the planet looks, how it feels, and how nice it is, they would think to themselves, maybe, just maybe, they can trust Frieza. Soon, very soon after this, the destruction of planet Vegeta would ensue, and what Paragus and Broly would hear is that an asteroid or a giant comet of some sorts actually destroyed the planet, but it actually was Frieza. Now, with that said, the other Saiyans that were off planet normally are still off planet. Vegeta, Nappa, Raditz, and so on. Same thing with a space pod that went hurling through space all the way to Earth. But this time around, Frieza knows of a Saiyan and his father on a planet safe and hidden away. Frieza goes to see Broly and Paragus. As he goes over there, he takes Broly and Paragus and brings them to the main ship, and actually tells them that to not worry about fighting right now, and to worry about recuperating and getting settled back into their army, because he sees the potential in the young boy by the name of Broly. He sees the potential in them both, and he tells Paragus that he wants to hone this power of Broly's, and he wants to take part in raising and breeding this child to being the greatest warrior they have ever seen. Paragus, hearing this, well, he believes Frieza through and through. At the end of the day, he wants revenge on Vegeta, or King Vegeta, who's actually dead, but maybe on his son Vegeta. And on top of that, he knows that Frieza kept his word once. Why wouldn't he keep his word a second time? So Frieza begins to raise Broly more or less with Paragus. And as they raise Broly, they begin to see the monstrous power that Broly holds deep within himself. Even through minor training and a shock collar around his neck, Broly would gain strength rapidly, and most of his strength would be dormant within his rage, but Frieza knew that this would become very handy, because Broly may not be as strong as him, but Broly is stronger than every single person he has under him. Broly's power eclipses amounts of 200, 300,000 depending on rage, and Broly himself will be an absolute freak of nature and a warrior that if Frieza controls on a whim, he can handle what is coming very soon. And what's coming very soon is the invasion of Namek. After learning more and more of what's occurring, and after Vegeta lets it spill about Dragon Balls and so on, and after Frieza learns of planet Namek, he then heads there with Broly, Paragus, and a couple other of his underlings, that of Dodoria and Zarbon, and they look for the Dragon Balls themselves. But there's someone else on the hunt as well. That of Vegeta is coming. Vegeta is hunting down these Dragon Balls, and he's heard rumors about a Saiyan actually being the right-hand man of Frieza. He doesn't know for sure because he actually is more or less been pushed away from being in direct contact with Frieza, so he's not actually sure who this person is. He doesn't even know that Paragus is there or Broly himself. He doesn't even really know who they are in general. He was just a child when all of this occurred. So when he arrives on Namek and the Z Fighters would ensue as well, everything seems to go normal. Everything seems to go according to plan. Frieza is awaiting the collection of the Dragon Balls, and hopefully they can get more or less the final wish that he wants, and the wish that he wants is immortality. And that's exactly what Frieza will get, because once Vegeta touches down on that planet, once everyone else touches down on that planet, well, it's over, because Broly is set loose like an absolute animal, and with Vegeta's strength currently, he goes after him first, wanting revenge, and Paragus is right beside him. Vegeta sees that Paragus is the weaker of the two, but Broly doesn't even let him get close to take a shot at Paragus. Broly, with his rage, slams Vegeta into the ground, eventually obliterating him with a mouth beam. And Paragus and Broly seem satisfied, but Broly's rage is not calming down as he continues cutting through multiple villages and all the Namekians. Namekians begin to die, being slaughtered, and eventually his shock collar would put him back into check, knocking him out briefly. Frieza would tell them to not worry. Those Namekians were fodder anyways, and now they can finally get the real wish, the wish that they wanted in the first place. Paragus would ask Frieza what that would be, and Frieza would tell him that he seeks immortality, in which Paragus would be a little bit off-putted by this answer, but at the same time would realize that Frieza has done no wrong to him or Broly, so there's no reason to worry. So him and Broly, especially once Broly wakes up, begin helping him gather the Dragon Balls and try and gain immortality for Frieza. Yes, Goku would eventually arrive, but by the time he arrives, Frieza and all of his underlings, Zarbon, Dodoria, have now more or less gone through every single Namekian camp, gathering every single Dragon Ball, and now has a translator for those Dragon Balls. Even with Nail ready to defend, even with Nail ready to stop everything from happening, well, it's too late. Guru would even attempt to more or less kill himself to stop the wish, but before he can do so, one wish goes through. And the translator speaks in the Namekian tongue, and he tells Porunga to grant Frieza his wish of immortality. And as the Porunga's eyes glow, and as everything changes around, Frieza could feel his body slightly change. and then Porunga would disappear and the Dragon Balls would break and drop into stone. Frieza would look around and wonder if he truly was immortal, but I mean, he can at least hope for the best and hope that he is immortal. He feels that he is, maybe just a little bit. He can kind of feel an odd tingle as if it's slightly different, but it's obvious. There is power dormant within him and power that he no longer understood. Now with that said, someone is finally here and ready for a fight. That being Son Goku. But Son Goku wouldn't stand a chance either. Not a single one. Frieza would begin ramping up his power because it was obvious that Goku was outpacing him. But when he would reach his final form, he could obviously handle Goku with ease. And even when killing someone like Krillin, killing someone like even Gohan, Goku wouldn't be enraged and would turn into a Super Saiyan, blasting Frieza with an insanely powerful Kamehameha. But that wasn't enough. His body would disappear, would disintegrate. But Frieza would pop back up as if it was a bad dream, and you could not kill the one in front of you. You could not kill the one that is trying to end your life. Goku would stand there in complete and utter shock and would try to use his power once again, trying to kill Frieza, but it wouldn't work. Goku would die here. The planet that he stands on, planet Namek, the once peaceful one that had many Namekians all around, this would be his graveyard. The Z-Fighters would die on planet Namek, and frankly enough, Earth would be absolutely screwed. And in terms of Earth, it would just be another place Frieza tends and has full intention to conquer. Frieza, Broly, and Beerus would set off once again. The death of another planet would be something casual to them. They would go planet to planet, conquering after conquering every last one of them, controlling, dictating every single thing you can think of. The Emperor of the Universe was truly Frieza, and with his father by his side, it made it even easier. And with Beerus and Broly, it was simple. Now, whispers would begin, of course, as they always do, King Cold asking if they really need Broly, if they really need Beerus, and Frieza would say that he doesn't really need the father, he only really needs Broly, because he believes that Broly could be the answer to defeating someone that he kind of fears greatly. Frieza thinks of two people specifically, one starting with Majin Buu, someone that King Cold speaks of very highly, someone that is very strong, very powerful, and practically unstoppable, someone that Frieza should avoid at all costs. And the other one? Lord Beerus, the god of destruction and the god that can erase you off of the place of this universe in an instant. But Frieza has immortality. Frieza has strength beyond any imagination they could think. But then there's something else that pops into Frieza's mind. This strength, he needs to find more of it. Immortality will not stop anything against Majin Buu. Yes, he will live, but what? Will he just take an eternal beating? No, he can't allow that. He begins to think to himself, maybe he is truly the answer. He looks toward Broly and Beerus and decides that maybe training with the young Saiyan will help them both. So they begin to leisurely train here and there, avoiding the rageful outbursts that are uncontrollable, so that, they don't want to go overboard and have Broly absolutely obliterate planet after planet. So the training would be simple. The training would be all the way until Broly's rage would be right before overflowing, and they would shock him, knocking him out and allowing him to rest easy. But as days, weeks, and months would go by, Frieza could feel the strength boiling over, feel the strength climbing over and over and over again, and eventually he would gain power, and this power would be an ascension beyond his final form, an ascension to a new form. Basing it off of the Super Saiyan he once saw, the Super Saiyan that couldn't kill him because of his immortality, he awakens Golden Frieza. But this power is obviously beyond anything he's ever seen, heard, or have even felt. To be fair, he's never felt Beerus' true power, or even felt Beerus' power at all. But this power eclipses anything they could possibly imagine. The only person even near him, or even on par with him, would be Broly himself, who has actually gained quite a bit of strength from the training with Frieza. We all know how strong Saiyans can get, especially with a training partner, and a training partner like Frieza that would abuse Broly's Zenkais. Broly would gain strength rapidly. Maybe Broly would be even stronger than Golden Frieza. But let's not allow his rage to get that far, because there's no way to stop him after that point. An immortal Frieza may be strong and may be absolutely, well, perfect in a way, but Frieza doesn't want to become a punching bag for eternity like he said before. But once Majin Buu would awaken, Majin Buu would be dealt with very easily. This would not be any trouble for Frieza, who actually seeks after Majin Buu to test his strength. Golden Frieza would obliterate Majin Buu into tiny little pieces and eviscerate him into nothingness. Babidi would be shocked and completely taken back by this and would try to control Frieza, but no Majin controlling, no Majin symbol will stop a Golden Frieza. So he tries to actually do it on Broly, causing Broly's rage to ensue, but luckily enough, Frieza is quick to the punch, killing not only Babidi, but also subduing Broly for the time being. Babidi is dead, and the M would be removed from the forehead of Broly, and now there was only and truly one thing left to do. That one last thing is to kill Beerus. But killing Beerus would not be so simple. Killing Beerus is something that Frieza doesn't know if he can truly do. And is being repaired enough to kill Beerus? Is immortality enough to kill Beerus? Frieza may feel prepared, but we all know he truly isn't. So once Beerus would arrive in the face of Frieza with information of the last Saiyans alive, that of Beerus and Broly, or at least any Saiyan of substantial strength, he would ask to more or less fight Broly. And a clash between the Destroyer and Broly himself would be a spectacle. And frankly, Broly's rage would continue to gather more and more and more. And soon, Beerus could see that this Saiyan is a brute. Yes, his strength seems to be traveling upwards infinitely, but there's no way that this Broly is going to eclipse him. It's a wall that he cannot progress after, and this so-called Super Saiyan transformation that he's showing not only is brutish, but isn't powerful enough to transcend the powers he currently has. And Broly seems to be stuck at that wall and unable to make another inch. So Frieza realizes this, seeing that Broly can't transcend even further, so he shoots a death beam between the eyes of Beerus. Frieza would shout that a stray ki blast has killed Beerus, and Broly's rage would ensue, shooting him into another transformation. The legendary Super Saiyan Broly has truly been awakened. This is no Saiyan God, but this is a legendary Super Saiyan. Legendary, far beyond some regular schmuck like Son Goku. Broly would then get this slight upper hand on Beerus, and this upper hand seems to actually surprise Frieza, Frieza is taken back by this. He actually enjoys this. But eventually, Beerus would stop Broly in his tracks, and he would have one hand out in his face, and he would tell Broly that he could die right now, destroy him, disintegrate him, make him nothing. But as he says this, he would kick Broly in the face, knocking him out. Beerus would pick up Broly and his unconscious body, and he would tell Frieza he's leaving with the Saiyan. And he tells Frieza that if this was his plan to kill Beerus, that he should rethink his strategy, rethink what he wants to do, because even immortality won't save him from destruction. Frieza, hearing this, is shocked, and chills would shoot down his spine as Beerus would leave with Whis. On top of that, would take Broly away as Paragus would be floating there dead. With that said, Frieza would be terrified. Not even immortality will save me? Beerus would leave, of course, like I said, and Whis would speak to him, asking why he lied to Frieza that he could kill an immortal. In which Beerus says he didn't lie. He didn't say he could kill an immortal. He just said that it couldn't save him. But those words would tell Frieza one thing and one thing only: that he wasn't strong enough to kill Beerus, and that immortality could not save him. Now there's two things Frieza could choose to do: tuck his tail between his legs and go about ruling over the universe and avoid Beerus at all costs, because there is no other threat to him as of now. Or he could train, gain strength, train as much as possible, even without the help of the legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and gain enough strength to eclipse even a god of destruction. With Broly's power out of his grasp, it seems that Frieza only has a couple of choices. And I want to know, what would you do, or what would you think Frieza would do in this scenario? Does he go about training for the rest of his life, 10, 20 years? Maybe he would find some sort of room in Spirit of Time, like he did in the manga. Would he be able to surpass Beerus, eclipse the god of destruction, and end his life and continue the rule over the universe he sought after for so long? Or do you think he would hide away from Beerus, rule the universe, but avoid him at every turn? With that said, let me know in the comment section below. I'm not sure what I would think exactly, but this is what I believe would occur if Frieza did raise Broly, raise the powerful, legendary Super Saiyan. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I hope y'all leave a like, sub, and comment down below like I said before, and I hope all y'all have an amazing day. Later.